So, hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Divine, Rich and Free Life, the place to be if you want to ignite your inner power and lead your life full of joy, passion, and flow. My name is Moni Rodriguez. I'm an author, speaker, and a women's leadership mentor. And I'm super excited to have an amazing woman I adore. Her name is Tox Cocker, but I know her more as an alchemist, teacher, leader, spiritual leader. How many things I can say about her, because she has been doing this work for many years. And I met her, it would be like almost 3-4 years ago. And I have been part of her groups on the moon, new moons and full moons. And I've worked directly with her. And to be honest, I felt it was time for me to have her in here and get her also some light shining on her, because she's always shining light on others. And she definitely for me is a legion of light, full of love and divine service. And so I wanted to have her here because she's been 30 years seeing clients in her practice in London, in her house, transforming lives, many lives in fact. And she is quite shy about the work that she does. And I wanted to bring her here, just introduce you to this amazing being, but because I think it's very important to now get into our alignment on our, we are in times of transformation where people really feels that we can become more, we can expand and be open for more. And so I will let Tox introduce herself on how she ended up doing this spiritual work, and what is now her next step on evolution, because I know she's also having some things in place now happening. And I wanted just to share her story, and also how important it is to be open for more in order to manifest things in your life and change your life forever. So hi Tox, welcome to the show. I'm so honored to have you here, and I would like you to introduce yourself to people, and let everyone know how you end up doing this spiritual work, and what do you do, because you have done so many things and you're doing so many things. I would like you to describe the transformational work that you do with people.
When I was a little girl, I had a very negative experience. And this negative experience was I was being attacked by the negative forces, and I was very young. And I kept saying, I am good, I am good, I am good. And this dark energy came. And I kept saying, I'm not what you say I am. And it was interesting that I knew nothing about this work. And as a child, I had a fundamental darkness try to steal my soul. So that is the early time that I remember. And I remember fighting this darkness. It was a couple. And I was very young, and I told my father, and he didn't believe me. And everything I said to my father, they did to him. So my father didn't want to believe me, because I was a child, and children are seen and not heard. So when they did what I had told him they would do, he went very quiet. But during this time, I was constantly punished for speaking my mind. So I learned not to speak and to be quiet and observe. And I continued working in the background. And when my father was dying, I was here in London, and I called him. I said, Daddy, can I take and have the title? And he said, no, it goes through the line of the boys. My father was a professor, a doctor, a gynecologist, a chief, a shaman, not bought, a real. So I'm a daughter of a chief. When I was little and in Nigeria, I went to the sacred space. We had white chalk and all the religious stuff. And I could talk and I couldn't talk, and I could go some places, I couldn't go some places, because I was his daughter. So even from an early age, I just knew the importance of spiritual work. However, in my culture in Nigeria, it goes through the line of the boys, and my brothers didn't want this gift. I had it naturally. Well, everyone is ordained with a gift. So whether you are given permission here on earthly plane or not is irrelevant. When you have a soul gift, you have a soul gift. You don't need permission. However, it is good to have permission. So I was sad when I put the phone down and the next day I heard that my father had died. So I asked him the last day before he died, and he said no. And I remember he said, my heart bleeds. My heart is sad when I hear you sad, because at that time, my partner had upset me. So my last conversation with my father was telling me the tradition of things going through the ancestral, the old way. And he was telling me about his sadness because I was sad. So many years later, when I was chanting for his soul and I saw him go up here, this very flat, I have a sacred temple here, as you can see. I saw him going up. He was going up. I looked out of the window and I saw him going up to heaven. And I heard choirs of angels singing. And he looked at me, he said nothing. And I knew he was moving up to heaven. My chanting, my prayers, my spiritual work was lifting and changing the family karma. I didn't know, but I suddenly realized I had lifted him up. But I wouldn't claim it that it's me. My work, spiritual work, my sacrifices, my work, my prayers, his soul was lifting up. And when I had all my babies and I lost them, the babies came in gold. And I was crying the same way, like I would see my father, a baby would come, golden Buddha. I said, go away. And I heard, you are not meant to have a baby in this incarnation. You're meant to serve. And the children you serve, the people, other people's children are your children. Like you, my precious princess, you are my spirit daughter. And when I look at you, you are the definition of what my purpose is. I have worked with you, we have met. And then when I look at you, you are my blooming spirit daughter. I am so proud that the gift that I was given by the divine to look after other people's children, to see you grow, to see your beauty, the joy of you, is a preciousness for me that defines who I am. And you are one of the reasons that I do not have a child in this incarnation. And I am so happy for that. Because when I was told, as you said, sacrifices, that I would be looking after other people's children, not mine. And the Buddha baby said to me, we wanted to have the moment of being with you because your soul and your womb is so pure, but we couldn't stay. And we know you're hurting on the human plane, on the spiritual plane. This is nothing. So sitting here with you, my alchemist daughter, my joy, is a true pride. It is an honor to be here looking at you, my daughter, my spirit daughter, that I was told many moons ago that I would be looking after. So my heart bleeds with joy, and I breathe in the gratitude. So this is the journey of many moons ago and the information that I had. And today you are the culmination of that prediction that I didn't like and I didn't want. And I followed it through. I opened my life to more. than just the physical realm. I opened my life to spiritual development. I listened to the communication I got. On a physical level, I didn't like it. I cried like I'm a woman. I'm a human being. However, if you look at me now, there is no sadness. For what would I want? Just to have children like you around me who are blooming and blossoming. Does that answer your question, my princess?
Yes, we went into a journey of, yeah, that little child and that girl that knew her spiritual truth, and how much conditioning there was, I feel, still we have from our parents that might not be able to see, or I think we are changing because we are listening to more and more of the young people who are actually new leaders coming into this planet. And I believe like some ancient souls like yourself really knew what their path was, but obviously then the physical world conditions, but you keep listening to your voice and keep listening to your soul. And when you are meant to serve others in a way to open your heart and allow the divine to guide you in serving and facilitating transformation on people, then what can we do, right? And I think it's a very courageous path because I believe you've been doing this for many years, so you have seen many people privately, and with the difficulties of what it means when your soul is calling for more. I feel not everyone is able to listen, so I think what I would like to ask you is like, for those people who know there's something more, they can open to more and expand, but they don't really believe in spiritual principles, or they don't really know what the next step is, or what they can expect, and how to trust those intuitions on, because I'm very in tune with my soul. I know with my soul, and even more and more, but it was not always the case. And I think for me, even though I was very in touch with myself, one of the things that support me very much is to be open to listen to any other teachings or principles, because I'm a seeker, right? And I will be always seeking my truth, because I believe that teachers are good, but the ultimate truth is inside you, and you know what's right for you. However, any other thing is all about being supported in the right environment. So what would you say to those people? They actually want that change. They want to be getting out of that place where they don't believe they can achieve more, or they can manifest more in their life, but they know that their soul is craving for a change. And I think now we are in a time, especially from next year, where people will be called into their spiritual path very much. And so what would you say to those people?
So people always want to have a right and a wrong. You are right and I am wrong. I am wrong and you are right. So they have expectations. So people are not right or wrong. They just have different expectations and different experiences. So sometimes our experiences and expectations do not allow us to expand and open to more. They keep us in a tunnel vision. They keep us in the safe way that we know. For example, a woman who is battered feels safe in her patterning of being battered. It is said that she goes back to her partner a good 7 times or more, and she stays with him hoping that she can change him. So this, even though it is wrong for you, is a patterning we sometimes work with. It's the same thing when we are wanting to expand and open more. We may feel that this thing and life that I know works for me, even if it's bad, is frightening. People are afraid of the unknown. There is so much fear in us, and this fear stops us from opening to more. Perhaps if I open to more, I'll get myself beaten again. Perhaps it's better for me to stay in this relationship. in this abuse. Because if I open the door and I try to get out, it may be worse. And anyway, I know this abuse. I'm staying with it. I know it. I understand it. So the concept of saying, I've had enough. I am enough, exactly, and I've had enough. Time for me to breathe. Time for me to breathe. To breathe in pranic life force. To activate my chi. To just think a new way. To open my life to more joy, more understanding, more love, more commitment to myself and my truth, or find out what my truth is. You see, it's not easy, and there is no right or wrong. It's the experience. It's the experience we have that we are giving our power away to the past. We're so afraid of the future. We're so afraid of living in the now. Or perhaps we've just denied the past and we're living out of our body. And we don't even know how to live in the now. We're living in the future. And the future is always bad because we're dictated by the past. And opening to more enables you to live in the now of where you are now. And that can be so difficult because you have to look at your pain, your dissatisfaction, your disillusion, your resentment, your anger, your envy. And if you can look that squarely in the face and say, I don't like where I am. I'd like to do something different and go away from the space I'm in, and go somewhere away that I don't know, and be with someone and in an environment where I can open to more without judgment, without fear, where the only portal is the portal of love, where there is listening and understanding and empowering of who you are exactly as you are now, irrespective of how you feel, irrespective of your imperfection or perfection concepts you may have. This is what opening to more is about. Opening to more healing, opening to more love, opening to more of who you are, your self-mastery, recognizing who you are, opening yourself more to you, the divine in you, the divine light, the true light, the light or the being that's confident, not frightened, the being of light that can speak the truth and your truth in public without fear of being laughed at or intimidated or bullied. So that self-mastery is very important. You have many people talking about living in alignment with one's truth. You have many people talk about living in, if you were not living in alignment, you wouldn't get up and have a shower and go to work. You wouldn't believe that the bus or tube would be there for you. So we're all living with some aspect of belief. You wouldn't believe that you'd be in your house and the house would shelter you. So there are many things I believe in the morning. I'll have a shower, brush my teeth, get on the tube, go to work, come to work, do all the stuff, come home, have a shower, go to bed, wake up the next morning. There's an aspect of belief, practical things, paying the bills, buying food to eat. So all these practical things, sometimes we're on a mechanical treadmill. We are just following the pattern, and somehow we may look, and we've climbed the ladder of success, and we get there, and there's nothing there. We get to the ladder and there's no door to even open. There's nothing that opens up. Or you have all this luxury and you think, I'm alone. I have no partner. I have no love. I haven't opened more to who I am, my true self. I've chased money. Money has become my honzon. My relationships have been my honzon. My appearance has been my honzon. That is you giving your power to that. But I don't know who I am. It's easier for me to laugh and dance and go and party and take drugs and smoke and drink and just forget who I am. It's easier for me to just not bother with conversations. Your quest for life must be so important must be so important that the quest for your life, the vision, enables you to find who you are, find that little spark of happiness in you, that joy that is elusive, that can be shallow, because we're living in the fear, in the lack, and in the belief that that's for them but not for me. That's for other people with money, that's not for me. That's for poor people, that's not for me. That's for rich people, that's not for me. We're making judgments all the time. And yet you want to be important. And the very thought you're projecting to someone isn't a thought you want for yourself. How about you being that rich person, that you're rich in the empowerment of who you are? You're rich with your nose, you're rich with your body, you're rich with a heart, with the hands you have, you're rich where you are right now. You are rich and you are wealthy in the qualities and skills and essence of who you are. And sometimes with work, we forget. With the busyness, with life happening, we forget to open to the expansion and to the unknown. Opening to more is opening to the unknown, and that can be scary. So I invite you to open with ease to the unknown. And if you don't know how to, you come to the retreat opening to more. And that's from the 8th of November to the 12th of November. It is such a wonderful thing. Food and accommodation is covered in the price, which is very, very cheap. And you have me with you 24/7. And if you want to have one-to-one sessions, you can always book a private session while we're there. And even later on after. So activating your true self is an ongoing process. It doesn't stop and start. You may stop because you're going through trauma or illness or divorce or death or whatever is happening, or school fees, or children attacking you, beating you, wife beating, husband beating, whatever. You may stop and then you say, okay, enough. I'm taking myself off to this retreat to open more, to more joy, more alignment, more truth. And above all, self-mastery of my emotions, my mind, my power. I am taking back my power to activate my self-mastery.
Very
So it's a
powerful.
decision. You have to make the decision first and then take the action. However, if you can't do that, take the action. And in the action is the knowing. I always say, take the action, and in the action is the doing and the knowing. You're not going to know if you like a plate of rice unless you taste it. You're not going to know if you like the man or the woman unless you communicate with them.
Yeah.
You're not going to know if you like the experience of what the unknown has for you until you take the step to experience the unknown. And every morning you wake up, you are waking up to an unknown. So you're already practicing it. You just don't realize it. You just forgotten.
I like that about the unknown, because I feel like most of the times when we are too stuck in the mind, people is not open to trust that gut feeling or that instinct or that heart. I'm very much leading from heart, so that's why I jump into places without. And so far, it has gone very well. But I think what you mentioned about mastering the mind, mastering emotions, that's part of the work you do. And you mentioned that you have this retreat, so I will put the links below on my video, and also will comment for people. You are doing that in Cyprus, which so sad I won't be able to come because I have something in Barcelona. It's a 48th anniversary of one of my best friends. She doesn't know yet, but we are doing a surprise party. But I definitely, I feel like anyone who has the calling really needs to just not think too much and go there when you feel. And I know, for instance, I need to go to Greece in January. I don't know why, but I'm called to go to Greece and Cyprus and Greece. I don't know why you chose that place. Did you have any calling on doing it there? Because I think the energies over there are very goddess-like and very beautiful as well.
Okay, well, the reason I'm going is I had some people at a moon meditation, the moon medicine meditation, alchemy meditation I do. And that after that moon, they spent the night in the portal. So they slept overnight with the portal here. And they woke up and they said, Tooks, we have that you come to Cyprus and do a retreat. And I went, oh, staying in your flat with this portal of this moon alchemy is just amazing. And then they left. And since then, their lives and their business have just moved on. And they're looking forward to the retreat in Cyprus for opening up to more. And I was like, well, we there's so many things. You're going to be teaching something new. You're going to be doing something very great. The energy of the 11/11, 11th of November, we're working with the energy of 11. We'll be anchoring the energy of the moon alchemy that we work with, which is the last day of the 12th. And the 11th is the 11/11. So the energy is preparing us and moving us to an energy portal that is so powerful, the energy of 2019. As we prepare to enter 2020, we are moving and creating a shift to open up to more of what it is that we need to empower us to continue living life here on earth. Or, for some people, leaving and transitioning to the other world.
Yeah.
So that was how it came about. From people.
The divinely guided, right? Because sometimes it's like me, Monica, you need to move to this place. And I'm like, it's not that I trust for 100% blindly spirit, but it's just I trust myself so much and my guidance. And that's the guidance of the divine as well. And you need to feel it into it. I think when you mentioned our feelings, I think it's, in this new age, it's so important to be back into our feelings. That's what the goddess is bringing as well. For many centuries, we were so disconnected about the power of the feeling and how it interacts with the body and what it's trying to say at the soul level. And I think going into spaces where you are away from the work and you just have a space of silence, I think for me, silence has been a big teacher, because I spend a lot of time in silence, and I go to retreats a lot. I mean, I support myself with amazing people, teachers, leaders, but also I always say that we are all leaders and we are all teachers. We just forgotten. And so when you see, for instance, something that you admire in someone, it's because somehow that's in you. It's a reflection. And the same when something triggers you from other people. And I think that's the power when you have emotions that don't feel that good. It's an opportunity to be in a space like this to look at that fear in the face. For instance, I'm now in the big, massive change in my life again, when I'm guided to go back to my roots, you know, and I feel, yeah, it's very important to have space to get a container like a retreat with talks or any container where you have the space to look at your life and say, well, I know this is the right thing. I feel it's the change that I have to make. Now you face the fear in the face again, and you ask the fear what's trying to tell you, right? And all these emotions that you were mentioning. Why do I have so much anger or frustration or sadness? What is these emotions trying to tell me about my evolution as a human being? And in 2020, as you said, I think we are called to, like, very much to rise. Or if you're not ready, like, yeah, I do always felt that some people is ready to transition because they have other things to do in a spiritual realm, but also we are very much called to step into that light and shine even brighter. And it's only a choice that you can make, but obviously when you have support, it's much more easy to see when people transform their lives that it's possible for you, right? Because now I don't believe I myself made a massive shift in the last 3 years. And I was talking to talks about, I remember we had this session as well, that I was like, I quit the job, I need some part-time work to do, and I didn't believe that I could actually manifest something. And we had the session, I remember I looked at and all the amazing things that I can do, right? And sometimes we forget our own amazingness. And I was like, you just need sometimes the support of another human being to that has walked the path, or that is there to hold space to do that transition and that alchemy for you. And I'm so blessed now to do the same for people myself. And I think we all are here to serve each other, but in a way, when you know it's your time to go to a brighter, much more expanded way of living, to be that person that can live in abundance, that it can be living in health, you know, can be living in a loving relationship. And I always believe that we manifest in the external what we have inside, what we are ready to receive, right? And I think opening to more is being allowed, giving permission to yourself to receive more, right? Talks. I don't know what you think. Why do you think people, especially women, because I love men, but you know that I love working with women, and I do believe women have this so much blocks on willing to receive, especially those mothers, those wives that are sometimes not allowing themselves like to say, okay, I deserve to go on a retreat, or I deserve to receive, I deserve more. How would you tell those women you are absolutely in a place that you can have it all, you just need to choose, right? What would you say to those uh, beautiful women that still believe that they cannot get what they really want?
We have an eternal song and a soul song. These women who believe, they know deep down, there's a soul song. There's an eternal song in them that's niggling at the back. They know they should, but they find an excuse. But somehow, eventually, this soul song, this voice in them will grow louder and louder. At the moment, it may be squashed, but they have a soul song in them. And one day they'll just burst forth and say, I need to feed my soul. I need to open myself to more. I am not a sacrifice. I am not a doormat. Enough. I've been a doormat for my husband, my friend, my children, my this, my work, my office. Today, come on. If you are a doormat, think of a doormat. We wipe our feet on a doormat. We shout at the doormat. We shake it. And we throw it on the floor. And then we wipe our feet on the doormat. And that's you. You're giving your soul, your life, your essence to your children, to your husband, to whatever belief or religion that is stifling you and stopping you from dancing or laughing or just breathing air. Sometimes when we're so stuck and controlled and contracted, we cannot breathe. So mothers, fathers, people's feeling stuck in the job, in their relationship, in being a mother or father, wanting to help your children, feeling it's your duty and your responsibility to serve and breathe your last breath for them. I say to you, your children have their own life to lead, and you are much older than they are. Do not disempower them by giving them everything and you have nothing. That you are not teaching them to have compassion for you when you are old. I see many, many clients, beautifully rich, wonderful people. And when they are ill, I do not see the children around them. And yet they have sacrificed and been the doormat for their children, rich and poor. And then when the time comes, they all flock, wanting to know how much money is being left for them. At crucial times, being a doormat has served other people. And how does it serve you as you are busy looking after everyone? Because when you die, you take nothing. And as you're dying, people come rushing to take and see what is for me, what is for me. Not how can I make sure that you transition with joy and peace and love, and the people are just interested in what you've got left for them. Life indeed is a miracle. Life indeed is amazing. Life indeed is wonderful to observe how people respond to life and to the very person that has been feeding them and clothing them. So all of you that are like doormats, from time to time, allow the person or the people to honor you and serve you. And stop finding excuses why they can't. Oh, a mother said to me, oh, my son can't visit me. He's a doctor, you know. He's too busy. And I go, but you're not well. You just fell down in your house. You fell down. Where's this great doctor? Where is the great doctor that's your son? Oh, he's working. He's so busy looking after people. You're his mother. So because he's a doctor, she's finding an excuse for him. So I think it's time we all stopped finding excuses for being treated with no love and no care by people we have loved. Stop finding an excuse for someone who doesn't love you or respect you or honor you, and say it's okay for them to abuse you and okay for you to be a doormat. So you're not allowing yourself to open to more. You've closed the door. You've closed the door. The door is closed. And you're living in that. Oh, he's so this, he's so this. Oh, I don't expect people to come to feed me. I don't expect anyone to come and pick me up when I fall down, or the ambulance or the NHS or what, some will come and help me. Where's the bloodline? Or where's the person you sent to school? Where is that person that you sacrificed yourself? Do you want to reach that time before you realize? I have met many people at their time of death where the family was only interested in money. I have met many people, mothers, fathers, who are crying because they're being looked after by carers, not their children. Their children are too busy having their own children, living their own lives. Oh, well, my son's got his own children. You had a child. You didn't stop looking after that child. When you had your child, you didn't stop looking after your sister, your brother, your this, your this. So what I would say to anyone listening that is in this situation, love yourself. And if you can't love yourself right now, I send love to you. I ask the divine to wrap loving arms around you, for you to open your heart to know that you are worthy. You are elegant. You are worthy of love, of laughter, of happiness, of pampering. You are worthy. You are worthy of opening to more and opening your life to more. You know why? Because I said so. I see it and I believe it. Yes, I do. I, Turks Fedli Coker, believe in your worth, in your greatness, in your light, in your soul journey, and in your awakening to know that you're worthy of love, you're worthy of respect, you're worthy, you are wonderful.
Love it. Yes, you are worth it. And just to remind, when is that retreat again? Let me just hear it, and I will
The
put it
retreat, the retreat is on the 8th of November
there.
to the 12th of November, 2019, in a few days' time.
It's very soon, but it's we have time to just go there in Cyprus. Yes, thank you, Talks. I think it was important, um, just because we are ending the year as well, and I think it's a preparation now with the autumn season and going into winter, where we reflect and we put the seeds for what we want to grow and bloom in next year. And 2020 for me, it's very symbolic on my own journey to share the joy of what I'm gonna be doing in the coming years. And I think if you have any fear, like we all do, but the difference is like when you are able to look at that um, moment on your life where you are meant to receive more love, to be allowed to live in joy and in peace and in possibilities, then you have to give permission to yourself to go to these places, to believe that it's possible. And obviously, I think one of the things is when you have people that believe in you, that is also transformational. So um, thank you, Tox, for sharing your own light, because I think you're a very special being, with lots of faces and lots of love that you give to others. And also I believe that what you're creating in that space is very important, because I think um, especially for people in London or big cities, it's very important to just get away and just disappear for some time and be with yourself and other beings and see what we truly are as humans. Because otherwise, I feel working in London, like I did many years here, 10 years or 11, rushing, fast paced, unless I gave myself permission to be with myself and went into my own healing journey and training myself with amazing people, I don't think I will be where I am. And I think also we have to choose to expand and to be who we were meant to be. And I feel like things like what Tok is doing is beautiful, because she holds that space that you don't find very easily in the modern world, because I think we tend to think spirituality is just something, now we are more open, but still we have resistance to listen to the soul, because the soul sometimes tells us things that we don't want to listen. And will you have the courage to listen and to be open for more? So I hope you join her, and if you want to contact her because you don't feel Cyprus is for you, or if you want to know more about Cyprus, I will put her links below on her work. I receive every month a beautiful newsletter from her, so if people wants to know more about what Tox is doing, I will also put her website. You have a website and you have the newsletter. Any final words you want to tell people, Tox, about expanding and opening for more before we hit 2020?
The choice is yours. You have a choice. You have free will. And that's what life is about. The free will to choose what it is you want to do, as opposed to what somebody wants you to do, or somebody dictating to you. Go into the silence of your mind and allow the choice to come from a deep divine vibration deep within you. And allow this to activate your willpower of strength. And as Moni said, the choice is yours. I always say it. The choice is yours. Make a choice that empowers. Make a choice that opens you up to more. Make a choice that expands your life. Make a choice that brings a smile into your life, your home, your relationship, and you. Thank you.
Thank you, Tox.